Hello, Chris again. We're working on this 1982 Volkswagen Rabbit. I am continuing to pull the interior out. Yesterday I got all the seats and pretty much all the door hardware and trim out and all that stuff. And today we're going to work on the dash setup. If you weren't with me yesterday, I'll fill you in. I am looking to turn this car into an autocross car. And I am not going to need this dash. It's in pretty good shape. So my intention is to sell it, as well as all the other stuff, as I've got other plans for a dash setup for this that I won't get into quite yet. But we'll see how it comes to fruition once I get working on it. So first thing I'll probably do is take all the little pieces and components out. Actually, I'll probably take the dash bezel out, and I'll probably take the steering wheel off. Maybe, I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually have to do that to get the dash out. I might be able to get it up and over. But yeah, we're gonna get to work. First thing I'm going to do is remove the speaker covers. Pretty simple, just one screw there. So I'll remove both sides. A screw here, and there's two little tabs here that slide into the dash. See, there's a little screen here, it's a grill. Grab the other side. Like so. Grab that, put that over there. Okay, now the bezel here has a screw right here, one right here, one right here. And then there might be a screw underneath here on both sides. Yeah, I believe there is. Feels like a hex, actually. It's loose enough to pull out with my hand. Yeah, somebody, I think, probably put their own screws in here. Little like 8mm hex. But I'll work on taking that out now. These ones up top are just a Phillips head if they haven't been replaced. That one is missing. I'm not sure if this screw was original. If it is, it's a 7mm. the headlight knob just pops off, kind of screws on. That one popped off pretty easy. So now to get this all detached, kind of just pinch it forward here, and this will just pop out. Like so. You want to just, these heater knobs, you kind of just want to work around. It's just the vinyl on the dash here, catching the trim. Just gonna work our way around it. Off. Again, so your screw places are here, here, and here, and then you've got 1 and 2 here. And then there is a clip right here that pops into this spot right here. That kind of holds it into place as well. So put that off to the side. Alright, now I'll pull out this dead space here. Maybe that was an original screw. These are all 7mm. I like these little breaker bars. They're good for little screws like this. Now, even though I plan on ditching the current dash setup, I will have a dash of sorts in here. So I have to take those 4 screws off. This just pops out. So my plan is to have a dash in here, obviously, but if this heating system is still set up and working, I do plan on keeping the heating system so that I can have a working defroster, just in case we have an event that is rainy. I don't want to get obviously stuff fogging up like crazy. Even though this car has a cool setting here, this is not an AC car. I'm hoping I can kind of, this isn't even attached, so that's fun. Well, there's that. That's easier, I guess. And then the hazard switch, I usually kind of pop out from behind. There's little tabs on either side. Kind of see these tabs right here, hopefully. It's like little metal tabs to keep that in place. Plug this, and then I'll plug it back in after. So your main white plug connects all these, and then there's a plug right here that is for the actual hazard light. So pull these through the hole in the dash here. That came out way easier than it went in. side. Do the same thing. Froster. This one only has one plug. That's good. Take this out for now. So I believe this one down here is the start of things that connect the dash to the frame rail, or the whatever you want to call it, the knee bar in the back. These two right here. Loosen that. And then I'm going to remove the glove box here. There's a screw here, the 7mm, one here, and then screws in those 4 spots there. It's been a while since I've removed the dash in one of these, so this is kind of an exploratory way of removing this stuff. Some more 7mm screws down below here. I think there's supposed to be 2. There's only 1. And in the glove box, looks like we got a volume knob, some other kind of knob. These go on here to kind of let the window cranks not rub. Alright, so that came off. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 screws up in here, and then typically 2 screws down at the bottom. That is our glove compartment. Alright, now on the side here, there are 2 screws. It's this way on both sides. So I'm going to work on those now. It's kind of a weird angle, but if you need to grab like a stubby screwdriver, you can. But you will need to take these out in order to take the whole dash out. Get those off. I'm going to take the other ones off on the other side. Show you the angle here. Now, super long, or they don't engage very long, so it doesn't take forever to unscrew them. There we go. So that I don't damage the vents, I'm going to do it from behind here. There are metal tabs on the side, kind of like what was on the hazard switch. As well as a 7mm screw up at the top here. I'm not sure if that actually holds this in, but I'm going to take it out just in case. Actually, I'll probably leave that in there for now. I think this will stay in and the heater hose will disengage. So I'm going to leave that for the time being. Alright, to get the headlight switch off, there is a little nut here that has some flat sides on it. You kind of just grab your screwdriver or a wrench, you can kind of work it around. Threads, I think, into the body on the back side. Yeah, like so. So this is the screw here, just threads into the body of the headlight switch. I'll leave that back here for now. Alright, to remove the surround on the steering column, there are 2 screws, I believe, at the bottom, maybe just one. Off there, and then we'll get the top off after I get the dash off. Alright, so the knee bar, we've got another 7mm over on this corner. This is just a cover for this compartment. So that's that portion of the knee bar. There's a screw here and here. Again, same 7mm. I don't think it's as hot this morning as it was yesterday, but it is certainly more humid. It appears that we have everything disconnected. There are some wire loom holders in the center of the dash here. You want to just make sure all the looms are unhooked. The way that this engages is there are clips that click in the back there. So I'm going to try to get this out. You go from behind. You can disconnect the hoses that go to your vents. Unscrew, but they kind of click in like that. You see right here, they kind of click in. And then this here attaches underneath into the heater box. I'm gonna leave that on the floor for now. I'll reconnect that after. I'm gonna go get the other vent off. Show you what I meant by the little clips. So those little plastic pieces in here, just gotta be careful with them. But you push them in, and then that will allow this to move forward. Take that out. This one still has the foam gasket on it, which is cool. This other one, not so much. Alright, so all those are disconnected. Got all the electrical stuff disconnected. So now again we're going up and forward. You want to be careful because it's a 40-year-old particle board back here. Actually, there is one more screw back here. Another 7mm. It's way in the back in the center. There is that screw. It took way too long. Oh yeah, I gotta take the console out here. The cluster. Again, more 7mm bolts. It's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And behind here, you're gonna have a screw-on part for the speedometer. This car still has the little black cover, plastic cover that goes over the footwell area. Probably gonna keep this thing here. Alright, so I gotta reach up into the back here and undo the speedometer cable. It just screws into the back. I'll show you that after. Unscrew the nut and it just pops out. Then the sucker will lean forward. You want to be very careful with this plug. The Mylar over the years gets very soft. So you just push in both sides here, and that just pops out. So again, the speedometer cable just threads on here, and then you've got a connector that goes in here. This has a clock, which actually seems to function, which is nice. And the speedometer only goes up to 85, which is fine. I would like a tachometer in here as well, so I don't know if I'm going to keep this or sell it. We'll see. Alright, so now that that is out, this can lift up and out. Just got to make sure none of your wires and cables are stuck on it. Just make sure all the clips disengage in the back. It's good to work your way back and forth. And you can pull it out this way. Voila! Got our ECU over here, got our heater box here. This is our defroster switch. This is our hazard switch. And then this stuff here. This light goes into here. It's got like a squared off section that goes into the side, and then once it's in, I believe you rotate it. Maybe it just pops in. Oh, it's kind of tight. Anyway, that goes in there. That'll light up this part. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors here. 1, 2. This probably goes to something else that was in there. This here is your cable. I believe it walks into one of these like this, and just like goes in there so you can turn your heat on and off. It just opens the doors. But I'll have to find my wiring diagrams and see what color wires do what. Yeah. But time being, we just set this aside. Alright, so that's the dash. Comes off easy. Imagine some of these. This here, this brown one, I believe, is the light for the switch for the dome light. Not sure what these are for. But I imagine we will figure that out. Alright, and then now that we have the dash out, we can pull the top half of this clamshell off, like so. So this clicks together like this. Just like that. And then the 2 screws that I took out were here and here. Alright, I believe the nut that's inside the steering wheel is a 22mm. You just pop it in there. far as the steering wheel, this here pops on. Somebody had already previously pulled this off and broke it, but these little pieces here are typically contained inside these barrels, and this is what locks in on these stubs. But again, this one was broken. There's a little spot right here that this plugs into. That's for the horn. When you press this, it grounds out the horn on here, and that's what makes the horn make a noise. Cool thing with these, if you have one that's a different color, this whole section just pops right out. And then you can change the color of yours. So I'll be selling this, obviously not the broken horn mechanism. And then eventually I'll sell this as well, because I'm going to do something different for a steering wheel. Alright, that might actually conclude what I'm doing today. So thank you very much for joining once again. And then I work tomorrow, so I probably won't be doing much to this tomorrow, but we'll see. It might be something I get into. I'll try to do these videos at least once a week, maybe twice a week, we'll see. But thanks again for joining. We'll see you later. Oh, also, like, subscribe. Check out the links and everything at the bottom of, or the info, the description of the video. There's links to the eBay store where all this stuff can be found, as well as some links if you'd like to donate or sponsor or do something like that. Thank you much. Bye.